Alright. Hello everyone, my name is Raiu, welcome back. I am returning to Spyro the Dragon because last time I played it there was a couple of things that I forgot to do. There's a couple of things I forgot to show off in this game. Let me stop my music now because we don't need that anymore. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. The first thing that I want to show is something that is that can be accessed directly from the title screen of the game. Back when this game first came out, they were both owned by Universal Interactive Studios. This game and Crash Bandicoot were both owned by Universal Interactive Studios. They were both being released around the same time. Crash Bandicoot 3 came out around the same time that this game did, and there is a way to play a demo of Crash 3 in this game. I showed off the Spyro demo that you can play in Crash 3 when I played Crash 3. And the way that you access it is... I need to look up the code. So I thought I found the code, but it's not working. It was... demo. What kind of captcha is that? Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so it's up, up, down, down, left, right, square. No, up, down, left, right, square. Up, down, left, right, square. What the fuck? Is it lying to me? Up, down, left, right, circle. Up, down, left, right, X. Nope. Up, down, left, right, square. Up, down, left, right, square. Nope. Up, down, left, right, square. It's annoying me. It's annoying me. It's not working. Why is it not working? Oh wait, that's for... No, that's for accessing the Spyro demo from Crash 3. I wanted the other one. I wanted the opposite. Fuck, how do I search for this? Cheat code to unlock Crash 3 demo. L1 and triangle, no. L1 and triangle. Oh, there we go, L1 and triangle. That's how you do it. L1 and triangle. Boom. I would be reading all this, but it's going a little bit too fast for me to keep up with it. So this is it. This is the demo for Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. Crash Bandicoot 3 also has a demo for Spyro 1. You can play a few levels of Spyro 1. I showed it off in when I played Crash 3 a while back. Um, Loading up the demo for Crash 3 in Spyro shows this whole, like, slideshow thing. Literally just a slideshow. And then after the slideshow is done, it finally loads one of the levels. I don't remember which level number. I believe it's World 3 or World 4. It's one of the Coco jet ski levels. Just gonna turn it down just a little bit here. Just a tiny bit on stream. It's a little bit loud. Options. DualShock is on. Alright. Let's do it. We can just play through this entire level. Now, I just noticed the achievements. Do you see that in the bottom right? I think it's freaking out trying to do achievements. It's like, okay, so I think the way that Retro Achievements works is it looks through the game's memory, the game's RAM, to see if certain values change. And that's how it knows when achievements get unlocked. But because I'm playing the Crash Bandicoot 3 demo, it's getting confused because the stuff that's in memory doesn't match what's supposed to be there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off achievements so that stops freaking out. And now we can actually just focus on playing the game. Playing through level. So on one hand, it's cool that they showed off this level for the demo, because I mean, this is one of the gimmicks of Crash 3 is a lot of non-platforming levels, a lot of vehicles and other types of levels. New, different types of content that weren't in the original games, in the previous games. I do feel like this is the wrong level to show for the demo, personally, because Crash Bandicoot 3, at its core, is a platformer. So I feel like it would have made more sense to show off a platforming level. But showing off one of the gimmicks also makes sense, so... And to be honest, it's a pretty fun level. I know, I remember when I was a kid, and even today, Crash 3 was one of my favorite games because it had all the different kinds of levels. I enjoyed the variety. I still think it's cool today. I still think it's fun today. It's just I enjoy the platforming more these days than the gimmicky levels. This one. Try not to get smacked by the cannonballs. Also, yeah, because the PlayStation 1 wasn't really equipped to handle large levels with a lot of view of things far away. A lot of the objects, a lot of the features of the level are just hidden there. The draw distance is really low for most things besides the level geometry. So you can't really see anything until you get super close to it. The PS1 really was not able to handle... was not supposed to be able to handle the things that Spyro and Crash Bandicoot did, graphically. Spyro and Crash Bandicoot really pushed... they both pushed the PS1 hardware to its limits. There we go, I got all the boxes, so, which means I got the box gem. It's interesting, it shows all that. Oh, that's interesting. Hold on, that's a thing, that's a remnant of the prototype of the Crash Bandicoot 3. So before we had, in the final game we have Sapphire relics if you beat a certain time, and then gold if you beat a better time, and then platinum if you beat the time that the developers got. When they played through the levels. But before the game was actually fully released... What's happening to my controller? Oh no, I think the battery's dying. Maybe that's why it keeps breaking. Before the final release, instead of Sapphire relics, there were silver relics. Which I think they changed it to Sapphire because Silver and Platinum were they look too similar. You couldn't really tell the difference between them. It's hard to tell the difference. I know I couldn't tell the difference. I remember when I first played the prototype, I got a Silver relic thinking it was Platinum, and I got very confused. Like, wait, is that really Platinum? No, it was Silver. It was what would become Sapphire. Yeah, to the warp room. And then it just loops back to this. Yeah, I know with Crash Bandicoot specifically, going back to talking about the graphics and how they push the limits of the hardware. Crash Bandicoot specifically did something that no PlayStation game was supposed to be able to do. They basically hacked the PS1. They took the software development kit that was given to them, and they completely just changed it, and they hacked the PS1, and they did completely different things. So basically, instead of loading everything in the level at once, it would only load what the player needs to see at the moment, and it would be actively loading and unloading different parts of the level as the game was, as you were playing the game. And because of that, it used clever camera angles and draw distances to basically control what the player could see and to only have what you needed to see loaded, which allowed the game to have very high fidelity graphics. A lot of very high fidelity graphics. And it was pretty cool. And then Spyro didn't do quite that, but Spyro did mess around with like LODs, level of detail. Basically the fidelity, the resolution of the levels would change depending on how far away you are from the geometry. You can actually see it if you pay attention. The further away from something that you get, the lower polygon count it would get, the lower amount of detail it would actually show. You would actually get lower polygon, lower resolution textures. It would load lower polygon text models and lower resolution textures the further away you got. You can actually see it right here in the title screen. It's kind of happening with the mountains that are further away. See how they're getting a lot more like clay almost. But let's load into the game. Let's load into the file that we did before. The adventure continues. Oh, I forgot to check some... whatever. Doesn't matter. So you can actually see it right here. If you look at those two towers and the wall leading into that tunnel, as we get farther away, the textures change. And you can see the model also changes. It gets to a lower polygon count, lower vertex count, and the textures become solid colors. Well, mostly solid colors. They're basically really low resolution textures, like 4 pixels at best. 4 pixels of texture resolution. And because Insomniac Games did that, it made it possible for the PlayStation 1 to load and render all of this. You can even see the water right there. As I get closer, it becomes higher resolution, but then as I get farther away, you can see the waterfall on the left is still has its animation going, but the one on the right is just a solid color. Really cool things that Crash and Spyro both did to make the graphics look way ahead of its time. Also, I'm so glad to have the charge jump and the being able to turn at a reasonable radius while charging and not having a fucking camera. I just finished playing the Japanese version of Spyro, which if you've never seen it, you should go back and watch it. They messed up a lot of things. When they localized the game for Japan, they changed a lot of things that they did not need to change for some reason, because they thought it would be better for Japanese players, but it turned out to not be better at all, and it made the game flop. It made the game a huge failure in Japan. There we go, that's what I was trying to do. It made the game unenjoyable for Japanese players, when the goal was to make it more enjoyable for Japanese players, to make it more similar to what they're used to. Like, they wanted to make it more like Mario 64. Because they thought, like, oh, Japanese players are not used to this, so they'll get motion sickness or whatever the heck. But they ended up being completely wrong, and the game ended up not being fun to play. To the point where they, Japan never saw a single Spyro game after Spyro 2 until the Reignited Trilogy, which was the remake of the original 3 games. The Reignited Trilogy was the first time that Japan got to experience Spyro 3 in Japanese, and hello? Did you bug out? Okay, that was weird. And it was also the first Spyro game they had gotten since the 1990s. Or whenever it came out in Japan, whenever Spyro 2 came out. Also, I don't think I really showed this off much when I was playing it, but you can flame the flowers. You can rage bait them and start online arguments with them. No. You can just burn the flowers and they're just like that until you leave and reload the level. Also, I'm hanging out in this level for a little while because I want the music to play all the way through a couple of times. This is another thing that I forgot to show off when I played the when I played this a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Something will happen once the level music plays a couple of times. Something that doesn't happen in the Japanese version of Spyro, which I just tested it right before this, so I'm pretty positive Japanese Spyro doesn't do this. I went through the mountain. No, Marco, I'm not talking to you. You can't really tell too well from here because of how, like you wouldn't be able to tell because it's just water, right? But you can see where the water actually has a texture on it. But then the further out you go, you see it gets darker and more solid color. That's the LOD at work. It's the same exact LOD that as what's going on over there with that mountain. Was that 1 or 2 times? I'm gonna let the music play out one more time, and if it still doesn't work, I'm gonna go to a different level. Maybe it does exist in the Japanese version, and I just didn't wait long enough. I don't know. I don't actually know how long it's supposed to take for it to happen. How many times the level has to replay the music. What should I do? Goof around. There's not much to do. Yeah, because again, by today's standards, these levels are really small. By today's standards for video games, these levels are definitely tiny. There's not a lot to explore. Which is a huge contrast from when I was a kid, because when I was a kid, these levels felt like they were huge. It always felt like there was so much to explore, so much to see, so much to do. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? It might also be because when I was a kid, the game was still pretty fresh in my mind and I hadn't explored everything already. The main reason why it feels so small now might be because I'm already used to everything, I'm already familiar with everything. Okay, the music is ending. Okay, it didn't. Let me try Stonehill because I remember when I was a kid, the first time I found out that something would happen when you let the music play for a long time, when you're in the level for a long time. The first time it happened, it was in Stonehill. And I was just messing around. I think I was trying to figure out where all the gems were, or I was trying to find secrets or something. I go up here. This is another thing I forgot to show off in my playthrough the other day. You can get up to here from there, from doing that. It's a bit tricky, but that's a little funny thing you can do. Another thing I forgot to show off. Oh, okay, it is the same sound. I wasn't sure I couldn't remember in the Japanese version if it was the same sound if you bump into this. But yeah, if you try to go out there, which it looks like you should be able to, there's all those hills and stuff. But if you try to go out there, there's an invisible force field that stops you. Magical force field that knocks you back if you walk into it. One of the things I used to do as a kid was try and see if I could figure out how to get around this force field. So I could explore out there. Like, maybe, like, in my head, all the levels are connected, like one big world, and the portals are just shortcuts to get to them, get to the different places. So in my head, I'm like, if I go that way, that'll take me to Artisan's Homeworld. I can get to Artisan's Homeworld physically by going that way. And if I go that way, it'll take me to Dark Hollow and stuff like that. Like, those are the things, the theories and ideas I had in my head when I was a kid. Like, I want to try and do that. I want to unlock that and get behind it. But alas, it does not actually work that way. Knowing what I know now about how video games work, it definitely does not work that way. Oh yeah, also that roll that happened when I was on top of this. That is just a thing that can happen, specifically in this game. It doesn't happen in the other two games. But when you're on a certain kind of slope, Spyro just rolls down it like that. It's kind of cute. Cute little thing that they just decided to put in the game. The original Spyro games were just really, especially the first one, they were just really charming and magical and whimsical. Fun. And that's why I still play them today. That's why Spyro, the original Spyro games remain some of my favorites to play and replay over and over. It feels like you're walking through a dream. A dream world. And you see this well in the middle of this field, and then you look down and you're like, oh, wait, there's actually something down there, except that the floor is missing right now, which I don't think normally happens. I don't know what that's about. You actually look down there, you can see, wait, there's actually a floor down there I can jump down. There's a dragon, too. Can I actually go down there and rescue the dragon? Whoa, yeah, there is stuff down here. There's a Gavin.
Watch the dragonfly, Spyro. His color indicates his power.
He eats butterflies. He stays strong. Like me. Sure. Spyro's like, yeah, alright, whatever you say, brother. And then there was the keyed chest here, and you're like, wait, how do I open this chest? I can't charge it, I can't flame it because it's metal. It has a key, a padlock on it. So, does that mean there's a key somewhere? Where would the key be? So it encouraged you to look around and explore and figure out your way around the level. And you wouldn't expect anything of it, but eventually you'd come over here. Eventually you'd come over here and be like, is there like anything I'm not seeing? And then you're like, wait, there's a whole beach back here? There's an entire ass beach? And then you see this cave, you find this cave, and oh my god, there's the key. It was right in here. Such a fun experience, such a like brilliant game design, and the music also like the music also made the music's locked in the feeling like you're playing inside of a dream, inside of some dream world, some magical place. You've been transported to another world. Stuart Copeland is an absolute fucking genius in that regard. The music that he made is perfect for this game. That's why it's so hard for me to pick a favorite song out of the three games, because they're all so good. I think in general, Spyro 1, I like Spyro 1's music the most. I feel like Spyro 1 was the most, just in general, Spyro 1 was the most like imaginative, most fantastic. But other people will say that Spyro 2 or Spyro 3 is their favorite because of one reason or another, and that's also valid, because Spyro 2 and 3 were, like, again, no shade to the Spyro 2 or 3, because those games were also great. It's just, for me, Spyro 1, aside from the fact that it was my first Spyro game, it just felt more like a different world. Felt more like you were exploring a completely different world. A magical world filled with fairies and dragons and other mythical creatures. Spyro 2 and 3, I feel, took more inspiration from, like, pre-existing fairy tales, like Jack and the Beanstalk and Little Bo Peep and what else? Golden Goose, which is also Jack and the Beanstalk. I just remembered. Freaking. Yeah, I don't remember how long you actually have to wait for the music to change. Let's see what else I can do. Kill time. Another thing that kind of sucks, for those of you watching live on Twitch right now, I played a round of Phasmo last night after I ended stream, as I was showing my friends the new stuff. And the new ghost, which I wasn't able to get the entire time I was streaming, I got it when I wasn't streaming, so I didn't get to show it off. I gotta say, the new ghost is really weird, and I'm not sure if I like it. Because the way it works is it's kind of like a Diogen, where the Diogen, it knows where you are at all times. It's able to find you no matter where you are, even if you're in a hiding spot. And if it's really far away from you, it'll be really, really fast. It'll be extremely fast. And then as it gets closer to you, it slows down to the point where you can just walk away from it and it'll never be able to get you, as long as you don't back yourself into a dead end. As long as you have a way to loop it around something. The new ghost, the Deal-to-Gast, is similar in terms of speed. Oh, there we go, music changed. He's playing the credits theme now. Yeah, that's the thing that'll happen. If you stay on a level for long enough, eventually the music will change to a different song. And sometimes, some of the songs, it really just chooses a random song from the entire game's soundtrack. But there are some songs in the game that are unused. There are some songs in the game files that are just unused. They don't belong to any levels. You'll never hear them, except for if they randomly play through this method. Also, this is the other version of the credits theme. For some reason, when the credits play, when the actual credits play, it plays a version of the song that's missing some of this, like this percussion and stuff. Percussion and some of the chorus verses and stuff. I don't know, verse is not the right word, but I don't know what to call it. I like right here. The guitar. This guitar is missing from the credits version of the song. But yeah, back to what I was saying about the Deal-to-Gast. It's kind of like the Diogen in terms of speed. It can get super fast or super slow, but its speed is based on whether or not you interact with stuff within the house or within the building. So like if you pick up an item and throw it, that'll make the Deal-to-Gast slow down the next time it hunts. And you can do that multiple times for different items. It only works once for each item. Like if you throw an item or flip a light switch or interact with something in the house, it only works once for each thing. And then when it hunts, if you do that for 26 different things, it'll be extremely slow. But then its speed resets the next hunt, and then you can just interact with the same items again after the next hunt, and it'll be slow again. It's really weird, and I don't think I like it because it makes that ghost seem really weak, because all you have to do, even if you don't know it's that ghost, you can preemptively just throw a bunch of items around, and when the ghost does eventually hunt you, it'll be slow as fuck and it'll never be able to get to you. It'll never be able to do anything. It also makes the ghost extremely easy to figure out. Like you can figure out what it is with zero effort. I feel like we're getting to a point where there are too many ghosts that are like that are too easy to figure out. As much as I like the ghosts that have different speeds from normal, I would like it if they added more normal speed ghosts with other unique behaviors. Because they haven't done that in a long time. I'm trying to remember when was the last time they did that. That's something to look in later. We're playing Spyro right now. Oh, the thief, I never got you. Let's see if the music changes to something else. Nope. So what I think happens is it plays the same song twice, and then it switches to something else. I wonder if I can... Fast forward, yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh, here we go. This is one of the different songs that doesn't belong to any level. This is one of the unused songs. I'm trying to remember what this song aligns with, because some of these alternative songs, some of these unused songs, sound like remixed versions of some of the level music. Like, I know there's one that's kind of similar to Wizard's Peak, one that's kind of similar to Magic Crafter's Home, one that's similar to Peacekeeper's Home. I'm trying to remember what this one is. I think this is Terrace Village. Kind of sounds like Terrace Village a little bit from Beastmakers. That one, level 1-1. World 4 level 1. Oh, level 4-1. World 4 level 1. All those sheep grouped together. Let's see if there's a way to get... Oh! There's a way to get up here. I don't think there is. You know something that might be fun? Actually, hold on. Can I even do that with this emulator? No, I think I need a different emulator to do what I was about to do. Yeah, I don't think I can actually do it with this emulator. If I was using a different emulator, I could actually edit the RAM for the game. I could actually look through the RAM and edit values, change the behavior of the game. And I was gonna see if I could, if I was able to do that with this emulator, I was gonna see if I could find the value for enabling flight. Change this to be like it's in a flight level. I was gonna fly around freely, but I don't think I can do that with this emulator. So something interesting to note is that this game uses tile-based textures for everything. Each tile is stretched across each individual polygon, so you can actually see on this roof. I can't show you my mouse. Hold on, let me put something on the screen to show you what I'm trying to show you. I know what I can do. Let's go to... here, here. Oh, never mind, I don't actually have it. Oh, let me see if I can find a picture that I can put on the screen to act as my mouse cursor. Here we go, this'll work. This'll work. Yeah, let me do this. So if you look right here, use the left ear, or use the Eevee's right ear as the pointer. So if you look right here, you can see there's the edge of the polygon there, and then the edge of the polygon going down there. So that's one texture that's being stretched across that polygon. And then if you look at closer at this one that's underneath, you can see it's the same exact texture, just stretched differently, because the polygon is a different size. But it's the same exact texture as the one that's on top. Same for these ones that are on the walls. Those are also tiled, using the same exact tile. And I believe the actual resolution of each tile is, I forget if it's 32 by 32 pixels or 64 by 64. I think it's 32. I can't remember exactly. I think the music's about to change. Nope, okay, it's the same. But also, if you look all the way at the LODs, you can't really tell, but those are also using tiled textures. It's just that the tiled textures are each like 2 by 2 pixels. So it looks like a solid color that's just blending together. Solid colors that are blending together. You can actually see it if we go over here. You can kind of see it with the roofs of those towers. You can also see some of the geometry just disappearing entirely because of a distance. You weren't supposed to be able to see this much in this game. The way that this game is supposed to be played is like this. Turn on my post-processing. This is how the game was meant to be played. A lot of these details that I'm able to see are not supposed to be as apparent. Hold on, let me switch, aspect ratio 4:3. There you go, this is what the game is supposed to look like. So a lot of these details that I'm able to point out and able to notice is not supposed to be nearly as apparent. Wait, what? Oh my god, that's something I never noticed before. The trees actually disappear. They're outside of the draw distance. Huh. Did not expect that. Wait, the way those trees are disappearing, they're disappearing like individual objects. These trees are not actually part of the level geometry, they're objects. Wait, that makes sense. That's why I can charge them like this and I don't bonk my head. They're entities, they're objects, they're not actual level geometry. That's weird. Why did they do it that way? Was it an optimization thing? Or did it just make it easier to build the level? Weird. That makes so much sense now, that these are objects and not geometry. Oh yeah, because these trees are actually pretty complex, all things considered. I feel like the complexity of the geometry of these would make collision detection really unoptimized. And we're back to the credits music. Okay. Well, I think you got the idea with the music here. But yeah. Yeah, you can tell these are not using a typical, like, not, the collider doesn't align with the mesh. That's so interesting. I feel like this has something to do with collision detection. Ooh, you know what? Because not only are these really complex, but they're also really small. So maybe because of how collision detection works in Spyro, they probably did this to prevent a proxy. Which, to explain what a proxy is in Spyro, it's basically a funny thing that happens with the collision physics in this game. If you put Spyro into a really weird place where the game doesn't want him to be, the game will forcefully push him out of that place. And that can sometimes cause some really funny things to happen, like shooting Spyro way up into the air or shooting him off in a direction. And speedrunners utilize proxies very often to get to places quicker by just gliding over those locations. And I think because this geometry is kind of complex and also so small, it probably was causing that sort of like glitch to happen, sort of like proxy glitch to happen. So instead of keeping it as part of the level geometry, they made it into just objects with like simpler collision boxes, simpler hitboxes. Because you can tell I'm going through the tip of that tree, so I'm definitely not colliding with the mesh, not colliding with the actual polygons in the model. It's using a different collider from everything else. I feel like that's gotta be it. I feel like that makes the most sense why they made these objects instead of just part of the level. Anyway. Turning that off and switching this back to this. Oh, also, if I turn achievements back on, if I turn Chivos back on, and then I do game properties, and then I do not that one breaks stuff. I turn that on. Oh, I actually can do that. Okay, I don't know why I thought I couldn't turn on patches during while running achievements. Maybe I can. I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, there's this widescreen patch that basically makes it so the game renders correctly, so you don't see parts of the level disappearing at the edges of the screen. Oh, I still have my little dude on the screen. I forgot about that. Let me switch that back. If I knew that I could play with this patch turned on, I would have been doing that the entire time. For some reason, I thought that having the achievements turned on with hardcore mode enabled would disable the patches, so I wouldn't be allowed to use it. It seems like that might actually be wrong. Also, Whirlwind. Actually going through and seeing Spyro go through the whirlwind. So much better. Japanese version did a fade to black, and then fade from black for the whirlwind, so you don't actually get to see Spyro go through it. You see him go in one end and then come out the other. You don't get to actually watch him go through it. It was really lame. I wonder. This one, the collision on this one is not quite the same. I can't stand on this one. I do also remember when I was a kid, I used to try and find ways to get into these little pools or ponds or whatever they are. And then finding out that they have these solid colliders. If I jumped up here, it would just roll down. It was always fun, always weird. It wasn't until I was an adult that I found out that I could do this. Actually climb up it like that. Alright, well, I think we got the gists with the music. Did I just land on the ferry? I think I did. I think we got the gist with the music. I think... Oh, right, cheat codes. I wanted to check out other cheat codes, because Spyro... As was the case with a lot of games from the time period, Spyro 1 had some cheat codes that were actually built into the game. You would punch in a code... you'd punch in some buttons, a combination of buttons on your controller, and it would make stuff happen in the game, kind of like a little Easter egg. There were cheat codes for changing Spyro's color, but I was trying to do them earlier, and I realized I think the color cheat codes, like the cheat codes that allowed you to modify Spyro's model, weren't added until the second game. I think this one only had, there's 99 lives, there's square, 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 circle, up, circle, left, circle, right, circle, start. Yep, see, I have 99 lives now. I had 50 originally. And then there was a level select. Square, square, circle, square, left, right, circle, up, right, down. Oh wait. Square, square, circle, square, left, right, circle, up, right, down. Now that unlocks something that I already had unlocked. You heard the little chime that happened when I did it, but all that does is it unlocks all of these, so you can go to all of these without having to unlock them normally. Obviously, this is a completed save file, so that didn't actually do anything for me. I think the only other cheat code is forcing the credits to play. Left, right, up, down, up, square, R1, R2, L1, L2. Nope. Left, right, up, down, up, square, R1, R2, L1, L2. Oh, that might be a Japanese exclusive, actually. Oh, with the circle inputs replaced with up. Okay, hold on. Left, right, up, down, circle, circle, square, R1, R2, L1, L2. There we go. And that just causes the credits to play. You know, something that I forgot to do when I was playing the Japanese version that I'm going to do now. I'm just going to do it right now. Might as well, because why not? Why does it change size when that happens? Really weird. Toggle fast forward. Oh wait, I accidentally loaded slot 2 on the memory card. I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. I accidentally created a save file for memory card slot 2. Okay, so the thing I wanted to do that I forgot about completely. Also, does this game have a widescreen patch? No, it's only the US version that has it. Might as well show it off here since I forgot to show it off before. But going into here. So, in the American version of the game, if you were to enter the final cutscene after 120%ing the game, it would crash the game if you were rendering it with the widescreen option. Now, I'm not sure if that also happens with the Japanese version, which is why I'm going through and trying to see if that is the case. Okay, there we go. Got the achievement. Move the camera a bit and get really sad. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay. Because I don't like chasing the plane. Oh, hold on, real quick. Gotta make sure I set my height for flying. Because I don't like chasing the plane, I'm gonna go through here and no, it went the other way, you motherfucker. Okay, fine, I'll chase it this time. Hold on, actually. I'm gonna force it to turn around so that it is facing the right way. Try this one more time. Seriously? Okay, fine. This is always annoying. Something to keep in mind is that Spyro moves a little bit faster when you fly lower, closer to the ground. You can actually see it a lot more clearly once you get to the height limit. Spyro moves a lot slower. So flying below the plane is better for trying to catch up to it. Alright, time to find out if the game crashes in the Japanese version.
Spyro さん、あなたはナスティを倒し、ドラゴンをすべて助け出し、宝物も卵も集めたパーフェクトプレイヤーです。今のお気持ちを一つ。
Just to be sure, I do have the widescreen rendering turned on, right? Yeah, it's on.
こりゃもうやったって感じです。でもさすがに羊たちの相手をしてあげるのは飽きちゃったし、そろそろ子供を増やしないとね。それにナスティもなんだかんだ言っても。
ナスティが何か？
ああ、気にしないでください。っていうか、まあちょっとひねくれた性格だったけど、ナスティもあれはあれで結構寂しがり屋なんです。だから僕がね、適当に遊んであげたというか。
That's interesting.
次は続編か
？So the Japanese version actually fixed that crash. Let's go ahead and load the other Spyro. Let's load the original Spyro and confirm if the Japanese version fixed the crash or if the emulator did. Have you ever tried to just press every single button on your controller at the same time? Have you ever wanted to try and do that? It's a lot easier to do with like older game consoles, like handhelds. I don't know, it might just be a weird stim thing for me. Might just be me stimming or something. Okay. Let's find out if it's the Japanese version that fixed it or if it's the emulator that fixed it. By the way, I'm going to say this ahead of time. Since things seem to be going well with my stream stuff, not having any issues anymore, I should be good for tomorrow. You start playing the Spyro Reignited trilogy. I'll be playing Spyro 1 on the remake. Because that's my goal. I want to play all three of the different versions of Spyro just to make a comparison between them. See how they're different or how they're the same. I'm gonna do this again. Flame the plane. Flame the plane. doing it with a better camera and better charge attack. I was about to combine the words camera and charge. I was going to say chamra. Oh, another thing I forgot to show off. There's a way to get out of bounds in this level. Oh, hold on, I gotta activate the plane first. So there's a way to get out of bounds in this level. No, I messed it up. Okay, well, I don't feel like going all the way around again. Because in speedruns, getting that trick down saves a lot of time, but if you mess it up, it loses a lot of time too. It's like a high risk, high reward type of thing. There we go. Okay, so there is a way to get out of bounds in this level. I'll need a second to remember how exactly. I remember finding it years and years ago. It has to do with these mountains. I think this is doing it, actually. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Just outside the level now. Also, the death plane, if I remember right, is really close to the ground. It's really not that far down, so if I go too low, I might die. I might just die. So I don't want to do that. Going back in, because I feel like there had to be another way. I feel like there was more than one way. Unless that was it, I don't remember. Oh yeah, here we go. There's another way. You're basically just abusing the geometry. Oh, here's a much easier way to get up. Wait, this is actually within the height limit. Oh no, it's not. Never mind. Hold on, where's the height limit? Never mind, that was not within the height limit. You're basically just abusing the geometry to get more height than you're supposed to. Yeah, there are multiple ways to do it, it seems. Some are easier than others. Oh yeah, let's have a look inside of Nasty's treasure room. See it from inside the wall's perspective. Yeah, look at that. Alright, on that note, let's see if, Hold on, I'm gonna make a save state right here. Okay. And that should crash the game. Like, the cutscene should not load.
Spyro the Dragon.
Oh.
You've defeated Ganasty Gnorc, collected the dragon eggs, saved all the dragons, and recovered every bit of treasure in the Dragon Kingdom.
Oh,
How
there it
do
goes.
you feel?
I feel fired up, Bob. And
Oh, there it goes. Oh no.
I certainly wouldn't want to spend the rest of my dragon days butting heads with Nasty Gnorc and his weird minions.
What's a minion?
Never mind. You know what they say.
For every good battle, you need a good adversary. And I felt that Nasty, in spite of his misguided nature, was a worthy opponent.
Uh-oh. Here we go again.
Yeah, there you go, the game crashed. That's what I expected to happen. Okay, let's load. Yes. Okay. Oh wait, I meant to do, okay, hold on, load state. Okay, so let me turn off the patch, the widescreen patch.
Spyro the Dragon. You've defeated Ganasty Gnorc, collected the dragon eggs, saved all the dragons, and recovered every bit of treasure in the Dragon Kingdom.
Yeah, okay, it still
How
happens.
do you feel?
I feel fired up, Bob. And I'm happy for
Oh,
the
it's
dragon
different.
world, of course. I certainly wouldn't want to spend the rest of my dragon days butting heads with Nasty Gnorc and his weird minions.
What's a
I
minion?
love how
Never mind.
that one in the middle is just the entire skybox.
Every good battle, you need a good adversary. And I felt that Nasty, in spite of his
I
misguided
think, at least, I think it is. It might not be the entire skybox, actually.
Uh-oh. Here we go again.
This is funny, dude. Let me turn the patch back on because it looks so much better with the patch. Okay, this time I'm going to see if I can skip the cutscene. Actually, no, I'm going to let the cutscene crash the game and then see if I can skip out of it.
Spyro the Dragon. You've defeated Ganasty Gnorc, collected the dragon eggs, saved all the dragons, and recovered every bit of treasure in the Dragon Kingdom. How do you feel?
Okay,
I feel fired up, Bob. And I'm happy for
we're
the
locked in.
dragon world.
Oh god, we're locked in. Ugh. And hiccup. Okay, now I want to see if I can skip the cutscene before it crashes.
Spyro the Dragon. You've defeated Ganasty Gnorc, collected the dragon eggs, saved all the dragons, and recovered every bit of treasure in the Dragon Kingdom.
I can't skip the cutscene at all.
I feel fired up, Bob. And I'm happy for the dragon world, of course. I certainly wouldn't want to spend the rest of my dragon days butting heads with Nasty Gnorc and his weird
It's really weird. I want to know why that specific cutscene causes the game to crash, because no other cutscene, nothing else in the game has this problem. It's only this cutscene that crashes.
Spyro the Dragon. You've defeated
I want to know what's coming into the frame that allows that to happen. Actually, let me do game properties to edit this, not the global properties. Aspect ratio. That.
Ganasty Gnorc,
Oh, hold on. Gotta disable the patch. Actually, no, let's keep it like that for a second.
Saved all the dragons and recovered every bit of treasure in the Dragon Kingdom.
Okay, it still crashes like that. That's interesting. Load state. That is interesting. Patch stays on. Okay. Because it seems like it's whenever the basketball hoop comes into the frame, right?
Spyro the Dragon. You've defeated Ganasty Gnorc, collected the dragon eggs, saved all the dragons, and recovered every bit of treasure in the Dragon Kingdom. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's the moment that basketball hoop comes into the frame, or is about to come into the frame, that's when it crashes. Yeah, you can't skip the cutscene.
What's a minion?
Never mind. You know what they say. For every good battle, you need a good adversary. And I felt that Nasty, in spite of his misguided nature, was a worthy opponent. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Yeah, something's
again.
going on in that direction that's causing the game to crash. I'm really curious about what it is. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me today. Stretch. Whoa, another stretch. That's gonna be it for Spyro. Been live for 3 hours already. Goddamn.